Hello, Farmer Jason here at Way Fruit Farm again. It's a brisk January morning. We are out here. It's in the 20s right now, which for a lot of people seems cold, but for us is perfect. We had a very mild winter to this point. The ground is still not really frozen. And for us, what we do is we get worried about the fact that the trees are going to come out of dormancy too fast. And that can lead to problems in the spring. If the trees get working and starting to think that it's not that cold in January, they start to think that maybe it's February or March, and it can get us way ahead of schedule. The problem with that is once the trees are ahead of schedule, they don't turn back. So even though it's cold and everybody else is enjoying the mild weather, I actually like this cold. It's much better for our trees. What we want to do today in our YouTube video is we want to give you a quick orchard tour. We want to explain to you all the different orchards that we have. Right now, I'm standing in Orchard 1, which is the most recognizable of our orchards because it is right next to Route 550 and right across from our store. And so this is the one that most of you are familiar with if you've shopped at our store. This is also where we do our U-Pick apples. Right behind me is our U-Pick Jonagolds. Beyond that, I have the U-Pick Galas, and then the old trees that I showed you in one of our previous videos trimming are way out behind me, and those are our Ida Reds. And so most of you have probably seen this orchard before if you've ever been to our store or done the U-Pick. Right now what we're going to do though is we're going to go show you some of the orchards you probably haven't seen. We're going to start with orchard number 2, which is not a productive orchard for us at this time, and I'll explain why when we get there. All right, so in order to get to orchards 2 and 3, I needed to use the barn lane that goes down behind the store and past our shops. In our previous video, I showed you how we were building a new 40 by 60 building. I had showed you how we started building the walls. I just wanted to swing in here on the way by and show you that we did get all the walls up. We've got a door framed in and we've got the ceiling joists in. We're waiting for a quick little inspection and then we will start putting the insulation and everything else in it. So off to orchard 2 and 3. All right, we bounced up through the field to Orchard 2. This is located behind the store on the mountain as you start to go up the mountain. And if anybody's ever pulled into our store parking lot, you can see this from the store parking lot. And a lot of you are probably sitting here thinking, that doesn't look like an orchard behind you, and you would be correct. This is labeled Orchard 2, but is no longer being farmed. The numbering system for our orchard started long before I was here, and at the time, this was a pear orchard. So Orchard 1 was by the store, Orchard 2 was here. The problem is the ground at the base of this mountain is extremely wet, and fruit trees do not like wet ground. Actually, a lot of things don't like too wet of ground. Plants want the soil to be moist, not wet. When it's wet, it clogs their roots and basically almost drowns them. And so even the regular trees don't grow that well. These trees behind me are actually quite old. They're probably 20 plus years old and should be way bigger than that. One of the things we actually did was we've done a lot with the environmental agencies and with the federal government to preserve the water quality in this area. This field was having a lot of runoff down into the stream in our pond of both nutrients and soil. And so now what we've done is we've planted the whole field in orchard grass, and it makes it so we're not getting the runoff down into our pond and or the stream. And so it's worked out real well for us. But this is Orchard 2, no longer being farmed, but you can still see the cutout in the corner of the field from the store. So now we're gonna bounce up to Orchard 3. All right, what I want to do is I want to show you a little bit of the road drive up to Orchard 3. Sorry, you're looking across my dusty dash and some of the raindrops that are starting to come down here this morning. But this is how we get to our orchard. I absolutely love this road. I love driving this, coming up to pick the peaches. That's what's in Orchard 3 is peaches. And I just really enjoy taking this mountain pass up here to get up to it. We can see, if I zoom over here, we have a big drop off down to a little stream over there. The other mountain is on that side. And we have a nice little road coming up through here. That's just a really nice drive. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull around this corner and you're actually gonna be able to see the peach orchard from the road here. We have the power lines that go through the farm, and so they've been here since the 50s. And so now what we're gonna do is you're gonna see over here, that is our peach orchard. All right, now we're in Orchard 3. This is our peach orchard, one of our 2 peach orchards. We'll do a lot more with these peach trees. They're trimmed a different way than apples. We treat them a whole different way than apples. They're vastly different than how we do the apple trees in every regard. So we'll do more detail on just peaches, but I just wanted to kind of show you the orchards. And one of the things that's really neat about the peaches is you can see almost the purpley hue to the branches. You don't necessarily see it when you're real up close, but when you stand back and look at the whole orchard, especially in the wintertime, you see that cool color to the branches. So just a neat crop, fun to grow. And so we're going to move on to Orchard 4. All right, now we're moving from Orchard 3 to 4. We do not have to take this back mountain road to get between orchards, but we can. All of our orchards, all of our farm is connected. Some of the roads, like the one I'm about ready to go up, is not the world's best road. It is an old logging road that we just keep it open so that if anything happens, we can get around, but it is not something we have to use on a daily basis to get to orchards. The next ones we do come off Beckwith Road. And so, sorry, I'm bumping over some serious bumps here. All right, now we're in Orchard 4. Orchard 4 contains some of our older trees. Some of these trees, like the ones behind me that are Golden Delicious, have been here since the mid-1980s. So some of these trees are hitting pretty close to their life expectancy, but they still produce a lot of good apples. Up here we have the Golden Delicious, we have some Stamen, we have some Ida Reds, so some of the classic ones that the trees are still productive on. But what we've also started doing is right behind me are some new Honeycrisp trees. And so what we've decided to do is, rather than tear out all this orchard at once and have to replant everything at once, what we're gonna do is we're gonna tear out a set at a time and replace them. Replacing trees can get very expensive. These trees behind me, the dwarf trees, so you get to buy all the trees, buy the posts, everything like that, it can cost up to $20,000 an acre to replant trees. So it's not something we want to do real fast. Something else I wanted to show you guys was, people ask if we have problems with deer. We do fence everything. I have a gate over there that I came up through the mountain road on, but we still have a lot of deer in the orchard. I'm gonna swing you around. If you can tell on the video, those are all deer tracks. It only snowed about 36 hours ago, and there are deer tracks everywhere, as well as, so far today, I have found bobcat tracks as well as coyote tracks. So we do have a lot of wildlife in this, and so that is part of what we have to help manage. The fences slow them down, but definitely do not stop them. All right, now I've worked my way into Orchard 5. Orchard 5 currently is probably our largest orchard and also has the most diversity of trees. Right behind me are some Golden Delicious and Gala trees that are from about the mid-19 to late 1990s, and so they're very productive. They're a very productive stage of their lifespan. Down below, we have some very little trees. We've planted quite a few acres of little trees, some new varieties that are going to be coming, including Evercrisp. We have a lot more Fuji's planted. We also have more Zester planted, some of the things, and Crimson Crisp, some of the things that people like, but we've not had in great numbers yet. And then on the far side, way over there by the trees, are going to be peach trees. That is our other peach orchard. So Orchard 5 is a very diverse orchard for us, also a very steep orchard. You can see some of the grades that we have to work with in this orchard. We have slid tractors on these hills, and so if that ever occurs again, you guys will get to see it first on our YouTube channel. But this is a great orchard for us, very productive. All right, so I'm still in the same place, but as I was sitting up here getting ready to move on to the next spot, something I wanted to say to everybody who watches this, who are regular customers of ours, I wanted to say thank you. You know, we're showing you around all of our property today, the almost 400 acres we have of mountain ground going up the mountain roads, showing the orchards. And I wanted to say thank you to all of you that do shop at our store. It's only because of the view that we exist. Without your support, we would not be able to exist as a store. And so all of this behind me would not be able to be. And so, you know, we probably don't say it enough. And I think farmers in general don't thank the customer enough for buying our products, for doing, you know, for letting us do what we do. And it's only because of you guys that we exist. So thank you very much. All right, now I'm standing at Orchard 7. Right beside me are a couple apricot trees, but most of the trees up here too are still apples. This is Orchard 7. It is going to be apples. And down below there is Orchard 6. It's going to contain some apples, but also it contains the majority of our plums and tart cherries. And so this orchard up here, mostly apples, but a few other things. So we really appreciate you watching this video again today. We'll keep doing lots of things on here. If any of you have any questions, please let us know in the comments section, as well as please subscribe to the channel and do pass this around. A lot of people have said they've really been enjoying this channel and these videos, and so make sure you pass it around. All right, thanks so much for watching.